Welcome back, everybody. This is another amazing show with Real Estate Uncensored. We have an amazing guest. It is my itty bitty, teeny weeny, tiny, tiny little itty bitty brother. By the way, he's 6'5", 285 pounds. So he's not actually that small. I don't know he's that fat, but you know, it is the coof. We don't know what's going to be going on. We have an amazing show. We're going to be talking about databases. We're going to talk about how to identify the people in your database that are going to crush it in your business in 2021, 2022, and going forward. Guys, I got a hint for you. I have 20 leads using this data in the last 2 weeks. But until then, we got to do our countdown. I don't know. Is it bad that I dance to my own intro? I really do dance to my own damn intro. I'm sitting like, yeah, get some. I'm like, oh, wait, nobody can see me. Oh, damn it. Guys, we got some amazing people on the show today. First off, we have the evil bald ninja, Mr. Gene Volpe.
What up, McDizzle times two?
It really is. That's actually
it is times two. I want to tell you something. Can I share a little secret?
Well, we said we wouldn't share that on air.
This is a different one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, this is it is a secret because you can't smell through Zoom yet. You can't smell through StreamYard or Facebook Live. So you guys know I'm quarantined, right?
Yeah.
I would say it don't take me long to start to smell like a dump truck.
That's good to know.
I'm being honest. If I don't have to shower, last night my wife was kicking me off the bed, and I realized why it is now.
Yeah, that does happen, man. That does happen. I mean, different body parts smell different ways. So it's called soap and water. You rub them together, smell gone. But that's an interesting story. We're going to leave that in the dumpster. Jake Wolf, what's up, brother?
Unlike Gene, I smell fantastic right now, and I even woke up this morning and had a nice, refreshing hot shave.
And you look amazing, by the way, as I interrupt your promo.
You always got to get the hot shave in there, ladies and gentlemen.
You always got to get a hot shave. Nobody likes a hot shave like a wolf, and the wolf loves a hot shave.
I do.
We have our, very, very exciting guest. Here is my baby brother, Brad McDaniel. He's the CEO of Likely.AI. Guys, you guys hear me talk about him all the time on all different platforms, talking about both what his data does, put it with Jake Wolf with Clever Leads, and then bring it over to Gene Volpe for the back end social media stuff. Nick Sakis, unfortunately, is going to be with his kiddos today. He's taking care of family matters, but we miss him dearly. We love you to pieces, the ever shrinking man, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. But Brad McDaniel, please, let everybody know who you are, what you do, how you do it, why you do it, what's your favorite color, and do you take short walks to to 7-Eleven at midnight?
Wow, that's doing the name of our firstborn and everything else too. That's quite a bit there, man.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, there you go. Well, I'm Brad McDaniel, CEO of Likely.AI, where we leverage artificial intelligence. I know that word is really overused today. To find those likely sellers, to generate new business for clients in real estate and mortgage and real estate investing. And recently we've launched some new things. I think that's one of the things that Greg asked me to come on and talk a little bit about at some point here. But my favorite color is blue. And I do like to take short walks on the beach with beautiful women like my wife.
Oh, yeah. Good man. Well played, sir.
Wait.
Well played.
No. Just in case she's watching. With beautiful women, plural, like your wife, or only your wife?
Only my wife.
All right. I want to make sure we're clear, because if she's listening to this while she's on the treadmill, you're a dead man.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not, because he has two beautiful daughters.
I do. And a son. So we got a full, almost making of a basketball team over here. So,
fair.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Let's jump into this, man. Brad, tell us a little bit about what Likely does. I know you've been on the show before, but I want to talk about what your new program's doing and how, and then I'll share some personal stories with what Jake has done with me, and just kind of rock out. So let everybody kind of know what your new product is and how people can really leverage this thing at a zero cost basis and understand the value of their database. So the stage is yours, my friend.
Sure. So we've just launched what we call the database or contact refresh. It's a way for you to leverage Our core product, our kind of core IP, which is the likely sellers, the predictions of who's going to be selling in the next 60, 90, 180 days, by actually tapping into your own database. So all you have to do is drag and drop a file that has address, city, state, zip, and then we do the rest. We actually can show you. What we do is once you submit your address, we send it through a series of APIs to do a bunch of geeky stuff like normalization and all this funky stuff, because most everyone's addresses are awful when we get them. Once we have that, then we can join it to our master table. Think of it, some people call it a data lake. It's just this massive amount of data. From there, we can append back pretty much anything we want. In this case, we're appending back who's most likely to sell. So the property address, oh, yep, this one, this one, this one. So kind of keeping all your data fresh, as well as letting you know who to actually prospect to get business in the near term. Within about an hour, if you send us like a 40, 50,000 person database, it might be an hour and 10 minutes. But most of them are back within an hour. And what's really exciting is initially when we launched this, we just said, hey, come and trust us that what we're going to deliver back to you is high quality. In the last 3 weeks, we just launched what we call the refresh report, and it's free. Now you come and do this. So you drop your file in. You just basically go to your database where everything is, hit export my mailing list, right? And then come and literally drop it in on our platform. And we'll do the rest of this. And on checkout, you drop it, you create a little free account, and then on the checkout page, we usually need your credit card information. There's a link that says "Get a free report first." Click that. If you're not sure, if you don't trust me, if you're not sure who we are, what we do, and we maybe bought some snake oil in the past, we don't want you to have any misperception about what we do. Hit that little link that says "Get a free report first," and we do all of this for free. And what we send back to you is a report that shows exactly how many contacts we were able to match. So basically, if they had good addresses in your contact database. We also show you how many of those have sold in the last 9 months and how many likely sellers we found in your database. And then to take it one step further, we put a little thing where you can play with whatever commission you would be making off it. So 3%, 2%, 6%, 1%, whatever it would be. And we calculate the gross commission income percentage for both what you have actually could have captured in the last 9 months from the ones we have, as well as what we call the gross commission income potential, the GCIP, of the likely sellers. So you can see right clearly in the report, should I buy this? Is this going to benefit my business? And then if you like it, you hit buy, check out, and the refresh report is yours. And from there, you can talk, all the stats that, Jake has done with Greg and with Gene. You really are getting to leverage true artificial intelligence without having to have a long-term subscription. But hey, maybe you want to come back each quarter, or maybe you buy a lot of leads online and you have this giant database of old stuff. And you're like, man, I know that's pay dirt. I know there's gold in there. I just don't know where. That's a great reason to use this. Let's say you're an investor and you have a very specific buy box of the types of homes you would buy that this REIT will buy from you. Okay, maybe it's 20,000. That's pretty normal, right? But you don't want to spend $1 per month sending to 20,000 addresses. Drop it in here. We will tell you who within your investor buy box is ready to go. Until now, the people that have done a lot of promise around MarTech and leveraging your database, and we know a lot of coaches out there, really talk about maximizing the value from your database. And we didn't think that the tools in market actually allowed you to do that. So we said, let's actually give a second way for people to leverage this intelligence that has less risk because maybe they got locked into a 12-month deal with companies that don't exist anymore and spend a ton of money and they felt like they got robbed. So, hey, come try us. Drop your database. If you like it, you can get a license to a county, especially if you tied in with a great marketing platform. Those are the guys who we see just really crush it because it is data, guys. And that's what it is, right? And people today have a really kind of skewed perception about data. And there's actually multiple versions of the kind of classifications of data. Not to go total geek on you, but just think of it this way, right? There's implicit data and explicit data. What you guys are all used to, just eating up is explicit data. It's basically someone has told you something directly. So in the dating term, When you meet someone that you're interested in, it's her name or his name and what movies they like and what type of food they like. That's explicit data, right? Then there's implicit data. Implicit data is what's not directly communicated to you, right? So this would be in the dating frame. It would be the clothes that the person's wearing, the voice tone or inflection during conversations, the way they interact within a group. All of it's to basically figure out interest and intent. When you get interest and intent, then you can do modeling and have the MarTech systems of this age really benefit the end user, because you're not going to annoy the prospect and you're going to deliver a much higher quality lead prospect deal to the actual client, right? In this case, an agent looking for someone likely to sell. And with the market as low of inventory it is right now, we've got a lot of people coming in going, man, I would really want to find a creative solution. And I've tried all these different things because I've been in all these like mastermind groups, and it just feels like it's a lot of more of the same. And the inventory is still not there. I can tell you 100% our models are predicting very well right now. We're actually going to be inserting what we call synthetic data. We have another model training that's going to be part of this next rollout. We deliver a kind of update once a month. That even has even a higher precision or accuracy. So, if you are interested or you have a big database and you say, man, I want to try to get as much value as I can out of it, try leveraging some of that implicit data. That's what data science does. We don't have need or want landing pages and people lying to us and putting 40% fake information in and all of that stuff. We want to go look at what's happening in the world and say, okay, based on all of this, these are the people that are in that state of change and that actually want to talk to you and will value you as a professional rather than an annoyance. And we serve those up to you on a silver platter. It's like a Glengarry lead, right? I'll send them to you as Post-it notes. And we've had, we've had good success when people come to us with a marketing platform. They know how to execute, or they have a team member that helps them execute. Then they get the most out of it, because they're just saying, who do I need to do this to? These people might already know my brand because they're in my contact database. Now I just need to be able to Now I just need to be able to know who to talk to, when to talk to them, so that way I don't annoy people that know me, right? You don't have to be, you don't have to be at every party anymore, trying to eavesdrop and find out who's talking about selling or whatnot. Now you can invite just the right people to maybe a social gathering or go out to coffee. We've had some creative ways that people kind of restart that conversation. One that I really like is when you do it in like a soft approach, where all of a sudden you become visible again to them. So that's either using like a Facebook custom audience or using geo addressable. Just all of a sudden, like, man, I'm starting to see ads about the McDaniel team. Like, I remember working with Greg. That was good. Should we call him again when we're getting ready to list, right? I mean, we do it. We were kind of thinking about maybe moving, like just kind of planting that seed of inception, right? That's what we do. Is we tell you who is ready for that inception, and then a platform like a Clever Leads is great at taking that inception and taking it to a deal. And so without both sides, if you come to us and you don't have a platform or system like that, the data is still valuable, but it's going to take some real work to use it. Send it to email or somewhere. But
so let's break that down a little bit, because when it comes to data and everything else, you said a lot of big words. You're very educated and you work with very smart people and everything else.
Everyone around me smarter than me. So hey, I surround myself with smart people. I just it's rubbing off on me a little bit. I don't take any credit.
Everybody, I want that's on the record. He said that. I was on camera.
There you go. All four of you guys. There you go.
You mean three, because you're the fourth.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, all jokes aside, I mean, you have an incredible product. You're really putting out insanely good data. I have an amazing responses that I've received so far. But I want to break in with Jake and Gene really quickly, because my brain, Brad, you've been doing this for 10 years, if not more at this point, with two different companies. Now, we're not going to mention the first one, but we know our Likely.AI, which is crushing skulls right now in a good way. But you brought in some new staff and they're doing amazing work, and the data is reflecting it in droves. But Jake, I want you to talk a little bit about kind of so you have the gas, you have the car. How do you make these things work together and get to the end goal.
Yeah, I'd like Brad to talk real quick about, so this is the thing that I absolutely love. Brad gives all of my clever agents data of people who are most likely to go ahead and sell in the next 90 days or so. They're showing some type of indicator on, hey, we're doing something on the line that indicates some type of movement. Before, most of the time, before a real estate agent is even associated to those people. So it gives us a unique opportunity. And I always talk about the movie Back to the Future, when Michael J. Fox says, holy shit, the Cubs are going to win the World Series. So for me, I love that, right? I absolutely love that. So yes. So Clever Leads, our platform, our managed plans going out via text, via email, via auto dialers, voicemail drops, postcards, letters, paid advertising, to go ahead and put our brand in front of these people before they actually go to Google, type in Realtor, and say that person looks nice, honey, we got to call them. So I love this. Predictive analytics is the way of the future. Greg's a mastermind, or Brad's a mastermind in it. He's got a strong team all around him, and our clever agents is absolutely crush, hands down, with data. So it's like, so Brad goes ahead and gives out his data once a month. And we all feel like the kids at Christmas waiting to go ahead and unwrap our presents. So anyways, Brad, I'd like for you to go ahead and talk a little bit about the predictive side and that whole kind of a model.
Yeah. And then I would love to hear some more of the success stories. Guys, I can't tell you, like, I get texts every now and then randomly from Jake, like, dude, look at this one. Like, oh my God. So it's always great to kind of get that feedback loop. Switching gears to the predictions and the data science behind the predictions. One of the reasons why we don't have our predictions, already have 10 agents calling them, is we don't leverage online intent data. What is that? Whenever you go to a site anywhere and you have to click, yes, you can follow me around the internet now, they're cooking you. And so when you go to Trulia, Zillow, Realtor, use one of those apps across the board, there's people that basically take that cookie data, do a reverse lookup, say, oh, that's Brad, and then they sell Brad as a likely buyer, seller, lead. What's so wrong with that is everyone out there loves real estate, especially since millennials stopped buying avocado toast and started buying homes. Right? I mean, now there's even so many more people that are buying homes. And there's a lot of looky-loos that are mixed in there. They all look at the $2 million home, they end up buying the $200,000 home and whatnot. But because of that, the buying cycle is kind of long, right? And everyone says, yeah, buyers, sellers become buyers become sellers. So you can get a twofer if you get it right. And by owning that listing side of it, you get the buyer if they're moving within town. And you get all that digital advertising of real estate on all the portals, because now your brand is associated with that listing and you don't have to pay Zillow or Trulia or the other competition for it. So on the modeling side, what we found is that there's people like HomeSnap. Right? We know HomeSnap, they built one model that was a nationwide model. And they were like, hey, we got AI, right?
Yeah.
Their precision and recall is awful.
Yep.
That's what it is. We build, one model for every single county. So we have 3,142 models running. And then within each one of those, we have over a dozen models running that we then create a mosaic is like a nice way to say it, where we take the best of each. And to think about it as like a healthcare chatbot, since we're kind of talking dating, healthcare, and all that kind of stuff, like, one of our data scientists was working on the Watson healthcare bot. And the first thing he did when he joined them a while back now, before he came to us, is that they had one model. And he blew that up into all these itty bitty little models that solved one thing really well. Then when you assemble those together in an ensemble, you have something that is really good at solving lots of things, because all these little guys are really good at it. So lots of really deep models rather than one that's shallow across all. By leveraging creative ways like that, and we've been doing this now for about 3 years. So, to go fully geekdom on you, we're solving a highly imbalanced classification problem with a time series component. We've tried everything from GX Boost to deep learning to you name it. We've done it. And now we found the right combination of each one of these different types of technologies. We don't even lean in synthetic data. I mean, synthetic, it's fake, like a breast lift. I mean, it's fake, but it looks and performs really, really well. So there is, I can go on and tell you exactly what we do. And I wouldn't even be concerned with anyone listening to this trying to steal it, because it is hard. Real estate data is dirty. It's all around a very high emotional transaction. So it's almost like everyone's a therapist, they say, when they're kind of going through the transaction. And that's evident in the data, right? So when you have something that doesn't happen very often, buying a home, when you have an imbalance in classifications, people that want to sell, people that want to sell, people that don't want to sell, right? Well, it's a 95 to 5 nationally, like annually. So think of maybe like 1 to 1.5% every quarter. I mean, it's literally a needle in a haystack. That becomes very, really challenging, combined with dirty real estate data, because it's coming from 3,142 municipalities, counties, boroughs, independent cities, you name it, and all of them have different schemas. So to come back up for a second,
please.
You have to assemble all of this in order to train to find these people and deliver it to you in a way that is you can leverage it as friction-free as possible. I
love it. I absolutely love it. All day long over here at Clever Leads. Absolutely love working with Likely Artificial Intelligence. There's two things that we love. One, we love getting new data sets every single month on people who are most likely to go ahead and sell. And we go hard in the paint. We go after these people. We say hello. We touch base. Right now, inventory is so damn low that it gives us an opportunity to poke around the neighborhoods. Say Greg was just recently by that neighborhood. Inventory's been low. We're just curious if you've had any thoughts of possibly making a move in 21, or would be open to a good offer on your property. We've seen some high buyer demand in that area. Just to go ahead and see, are we talking to the confirmed homeowner? Is there any intent there? And just to start the relationship. And out of these data sets, we've seen a tremendous increase in positive responses on all likely data sets. So much so, Greg's literally in conversation with 20 different sellers over the last short couple of weeks, utilizing his virtual assistant and some of our tactics and programs. That's one. Love it. Absolutely love it. Two is there is something to be said about how cold your database gets, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's say last year, as a matter of fact, let me tell you a case study. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday from St. Louis, and he said, Mr. Wolf, I've got this data set that was given to me by a real estate agent, and he built this nice data set of 10,000 people. And I said, well, when did he do that? He said, I think it was like 2009. Okay, like that's a really old data set. But look at how much life happens to each and every single one of us. Things change. Okay, so last year's data set that you have built, purchased, whatever, it's got some type of change in it. Whether those people are gone from that address, whatever, life happens. However, with Brad, I'm able to go ahead and take a data set. So if I have 5,000 confirmed homeowners inside of my Clever Leads database, I can go ahead and send it over to Brad. Brad's going to go ahead and send it back to me with a refresh of information, possible new phone numbers, if they are even associated to the house anymore, but also people who are most likely to go ahead and sell. Now it gives me an opportunity from a marketing mindset to go ahead and focus on the most highly probable people before any of my competition gets to them. So absolutely love it. Without having some type of insight, predictive analytics set up like this, there's no knowing. Now, another thing, I see people mishandle outside of Clever Leads. Obviously, I see people mishandling this data, right? So as with any data set, all of a sudden, if it's there, and what are people doing? Sending a postcard, or maybe trying to do a one-touch, but no follow-up. So there's the whole marketing process of engagement and relationship building is so important. It's air, land, sea, omnipresent, reaching out via text, digital advertising, social infrastructures, all the rest of that stuff. So Greg, talk a little bit about the conversations that you've actually had over the last few weeks regarding a lot of these different sellers.
Yeah, not a problem. Some of the conversations that I've personally had, and also my VA, Karen, who is an absolute fucking gangster. Love that girl. She's my ride or die homie. She, no joke, she's put 20 plus warm to hot seller leads in my account. And she is now going back and she is rebooking every single one of these people. She booked 3 people for me in about an hour yesterday from the Likely data, using the Clever Leads whole system, using the text message, email, VA programs. It is absolutely knock out of the park success. I mean, it is incredible. I have an appointment set up next week with a gentleman for a $2 million listing. I have another one set up for Thursday of this week for 1.8. And these numbers aren't to impress you guys. This is just my market, right? This is just
impress me.
Well, I impress myself.
Yeah.
No, but it's serious. I mean, this data is literally no fucking joke. I've never seen something so clean as this, because the people are just, it's like a greased down eel. They're just flowing through what you're putting them in, and it is awesome because the conversations are like, yeah, I remember talking to Karen. Yeah, we are thinking about selling. Fantastic. What kind of price point? About 2 million. Yep. That actually looks, from what I've seen so far, when I did research on your property, that looks like that could work. Why don't we get together? Okay, how's next week? Fantastic. Let's go. And I've not had a negative conversation with the people using Likely.AI's information, put them through Clever, and then redirecting them with Gene on the back end for social media. These people will never get away from me, ever. And it's fantastic. And guys, as you know, I'm a guy, if you can't see me right now, I'm wearing a baseball hat for a barbecue place here in town. I have a shirt that says, "Want to sell your house?" And I'm wearing shorts with no shoes, with painted toenails. And
TMI.
Gene shaking his head. Jake is just shaking, quickly, shifting his pen like, "Move on, Greg. This is uncomfortable." But it's a real thing, because I mean, I show up as me. And when you get the right data and you have the right people and you are yourself 100%, this stuff works, guys. 100%. Gene, you've been so creepy quiet. I think you're like on the serial stalker website trying to like put an application in. What are you doing down there?
I was just submitting the application. Good call. Look, I know my lane. I know when I need to be called on. I think these guys are handling this very well, and there'll be some time for comic relief, I'm sure, and that's when I'll pop my head out. Don't worry about it.
Like a turtle.
Can I ask you a question? Because I thought Greg made a good point about having the full spectrum, getting the people engaged from our data with Clever Leads, and then staying in touch with them, following up, and really closing them on social media, maybe retargeting and whatnot. Like that's so valuable. Like, do you know that $611 billion are lost every single year that cost U.S. businesses because they're marketing and using bad data, whether it's the cost to redo it or they're sending postcards to the wrong people or whatnot. And when they have clean data, they generate to 70% more revenue. So when they have someone like you and Jake in their corner with clean data, their businesses will see that up and to the right, which I think everyone strives for.
They're still losing a lot of money, Brad, even with clean data, without the right process. Throughout all the years that I've been doing marketing, the most missed marketing pillar has been retargeting and remarketing, because we all know that this is a huge purchase. And with clean data, that has some type of setup where it's people are most likely to sell or list their home in the next 90 days or so. All these conversations that we're having right now with all of our Clever agents, we're going to be able to look back at New Year's and say the work that I'm doing right now and the relationships that I'm building off of the likely seller data develops out late Q2, Q3, Q4, because of a human element there, in addition to the relationship building part of it. So now all of a sudden we have contactable homeowners who have a predictive analytics set. We don't just go once to folks. We want to go ahead and put them into a process of omni touches where it's remarketing, retargeting, and getting them in the digital space, the social space, the core communication space, and sending out emails and on and on. One thing that I absolutely love to do with your data, Brad, is whenever it comes in fresh, I like to go ahead and take the emails, put a nice little sweet email together. We did this with Greg right after St. Patrick's Day. It said, after celebrating St. Patrick's Day, it's always good to check the pot of gold at the end of your rainbow. Possibly planning on making a move in 21 or open to a good offer on your home. see where your home comes in at with a nice big link that says California Home Values 2021 edition. We had literally almost a 60% open rate on your data. We like to go ahead and use the actual address as a subject line. Greg had over 30 people going through checking out their values. Now, we're able to go ahead and see from a core data set, people are even more intentful off of a high intent audience anyway. And then we can focus our initiatives back in on these people, start sending out text messages. If you got a direct mail type campaign, if you're doing addressable geofencing, now all of a sudden we load those people up and consumable content is flying to them everywhere. It's about now introducing your brand in an omni approach to touch. So when you're talking about those stats, even clean data, without the right process here to get them into a true handshake, a true communication on the phone with a real estate agent, they're still losing a tremendous amount of money. So that's where I'm at with that.
So what are your, what's like your one magic tip from a marketing standpoint, whether it's likely sellers or it's some other data set? Like, how do you start the conversation?
Oh, so we love using our virtual assistants, and it really works well for the whole setup. If a real estate agent is going direct to consumer, it kind of creates a different type of a relationship. But if Maria or Karen, like Greg's lady Karen, if she says, "Hi, this is Karen," with a smiley face, Mr. Greg McDaniel's personal assistant here at eXp Realty in Walnut Creek, he asked me to reach out. Another smiley face. I don't mean to intrude. This phone number is associated to 1234 Pine Street. Are you the homeowner by chance? First thing that we always like to do, Brad, is we want to go ahead and get confirmation that we're talking to the person who is the controlling interest of that property, first and foremost. So now that we're engaged in a conversation with these people, then we can go ahead and actually drop in. You know, Greg was recently by your neighborhood. You might know inventory is extremely low. We've had some high buyer demand there lately. Greg asked me to connect with some of the homeowners in your area. We were just curious. Right now, with the way that the inventory situation is across the United States, it's okay to go directly to these homeowners and start a conversation to go ahead and see if they had any intent. Now, if all of a sudden they go ahead and come back to us and say, you know what, I'm not interested. The kids are still in school. I couldn't even move if I wanted to. We always leave everybody in a kind way. Thank you very much. Thanks for getting back in touch with us. Have a blessed rest of your day. Here's a link to our website so you can put a face to a name, find out some more information about us. And now, since we know that they're a confirmed homeowner, that's valuable. We've already started the relationship, but we don't just stop there. So let's say in 30 days from now, we can come back to these folks and say, hey, we just saw our conversation that we had a month or so ago. Would love to get your email address. Mr. McDaniel sends out valuable information via email once a week, and we'd hate to see you not included in all of our information. And it just rolls and nurtures. So if these people are in a kind way communicating to us, and even if they're not ready right now, we're going to make sure that they see additional information at a minimum once a week via email. We're going to connect back to them via text. We're going to connect them into addressable geofencing to where Greg's consumable content that he's putting out now is sitting there everywhere they go. Ultimately, when that one moment comes, when they literally are going to do something in real estate, they think about Mr. Greg McDaniel before going to Google and typing in realtor and saying that person looks nice. So it's a start of a journey. It's so important, and we don't let anybody go.
So do you guys see how I love the way that you just started the conversation with implicit data, asking for explicit data, and based on that took next steps, right? I mean, that's how you do the dance. And I love that story right there.
Yeah.
Gene, what do you do to keep them in the loop? For the ones that don't convert right away, Greg, I don't mean to just start asking questions. I just like your team. If they don't convert right away, Gene, what do you do? What's your strategy to keep top of mind?
Well, let's say I'm assuming, of course, that Jake's handling the retargeting, right? So we already have a lot of information that allows us to go after them specifically. But the other things we'll do is we'll be ever present. So we're going to get them in as many circles as we possibly can. What I mean by that is on our email newsletter list, on our Facebook groups, on our Facebook page, following our YouTube channel. And then we just crush it with content, and we put content out with the right keywords and the right messages, and it ends up being, like I've said this for years, right? Like my job as a marketing guy is to get people to go, dude, you're everywhere. That's kind of what it is like there's such a race for attention right now out there that if you're missing in action for 14 seconds, they're on thinking about somebody else. Mm-hmm. So we need your data. We need your mailers. We need you following us on Facebook. We need you connected to our kids. We need you to be able to watch our YouTube channel. I need to have my commercial on your Comcast feed on your high def TV. We got to come in, add streams. I got to have, if you watch USA Today, we got to be at the top of that through third party pay-per-click advertising. Like, it's just, we're just going to bombard them and carpet bomb them with as much of our face and message as we possibly can all over the place.
And is that expensive if you try to do a whole community?
No, that's the easiest part of this whole thing, which makes my job both easy and unappreciated in a lot of cases. It's a lot to do, but it's easy and in most cases free, right? It's sweat equity for the most part. Like the retargeting, you pay for that. The PPC, you pay for that. The geofencing, you pay for that. The data, you pay for it. It doesn't cost you anything to have a Facebook account where you're spending time messaging people that opened up your email 3 times, right?
I'd love to add to what Gene's talking about right now. So it's all about understanding the customer journey. If you end up receiving a core data set from Likely, and then we start going straight communication to them. Now, through a lot of the emails and everything else like that, I love to go ahead and list the social channels that the agents that are on. Okay, so on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, okay, people might prefer to go ahead and consume content on LinkedIn or on Instagram, or if you have a strong YouTube channel. Now, what we end up doing is we give all of those options to these Likely sellers when we're recommunicating to them all the time. Now they all of a sudden, we are literally flowing people up into Gene's world, where Gene is helping as far as that consumable content ambassador, helping build your brand image on all of these different social networks. So it's a consistent handoff of the journey of online success. And people need to go ahead and have a social presence that has consumable content. And Gene does a fantastic job at helping advise that and really guide those different market centers. And because you never know, ladies and gentlemen, how they're going to come in. I could send a text to somebody and they call me back. They don't text me back. I could send a text to somebody, they never respond to me, but tomorrow they're going to get a follow-up text message with the link to my website. Now all of a sudden they're trapped in all my pixels. Now they're seeing advertising. They see consumable content all the time. Then they might come back to the website, or they might get an email where all of a sudden they click on the link that goes to Facebook. They might see a bunch of consumable content on Facebook now. And then at the right moment, they literally come back, find your phone number, and call. You never know how.
Yeah, and let me go back on that too, because here's another element of it I think that people miss a lot. What the hell? The psychology.
It's a consumer.
What are you doing, McDaniel?
It's a consumer journey.
Right over my face. You're cropping out the best part of this whole goddamn show. What are you doing?
You like that? Oh. And he's back.
Let's do that when you're up there. But listen, let me take you through the process. Like Jake was saying, the journey, right? So let me just walk through a simplistic interpretation of what happens. So you go back, Brad funnels the data of somebody at 1234 Main Street, and all of a sudden, that guy or girl gets a text message from Karen, one of your VAs, and he picks up his phone and he goes, I think I would think about selling the house possibly for the right. What's that? Wait, all right, I'll be right up. Right. And they go, I'll get back to it. Right. 34 text messages come in later. That night they're sitting down at their computer and they're on Facebook and they see a message from Greg McDaniel and they go, shit, I forgot to text him back. Let me do that. So it's the constant interrupt and it's the constant reminder that we're here using all of those platforms. And maybe I just use that as an example. Maybe it's actually 2 days goes by and they get a physical mailer in the mail with your face on it. They go, shit, I forgot to get back to that guy. That's because you know what happens. The buying process gets broken so many times with interruptions that you just got to keep peppering, and you got to pepper in as many spaces as humanly possible because they might not be looking at YouTube for 2 weeks, but they're over on Instagram, so you got to be there, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes good sense. I like that a lot. And so do you, and this is just me not being curious, Gene, it's part of what you do is the content itself and actually generate that and customize it and tailor it to clients?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we
Very
get in their
cool.
space too, Brad. Like I learn I don't think I know this. One of the things that I do well as an agency owner is that I get to know the person first. Like I get on these these calls from these shows. People will call and say, "Can you help me?" And I go, "Absolutely." And we get on a call and they go, "What do I need to do?" And I go, I don't even know who you are yet. Like I can't tell you to do one thing. You know, I might say to you, go out and talk about your diet. You know, like people love to see that personal aspect of it. And you're eating well, right? No, I eat like a pig. Okay, well then don't do that, right? Like, so I got to learn a little bit about you and your loves and your whys and what you're good at. That's another piece too. Like you might not be made for cold calling. And if that's the case, we figure out a way to get your cold calling working in another avenue. So we get in the space of the actual human first, and then we generate and create that content and distribute that content based off of who the public already knows they are and what they want from them. So it's more of if I'm following Brad McDaniel, I'm not really following Brad McDaniel because of his data. I don't need that right now, right? Until I need it. So in the meantime, I need to be attracted to the walks on the beach because guess what? I have 2 daughters and a wife, and I do that too. So I get it, right? So I need that out of Brad until I need the data out of Brad, and I got to be there in the meantime.
Got it. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Greg, sorry for kind of asking questions.
You mean hijacking my podcast? Yeah, no problem.
I'm the little brother. Every now and then I gotta try to measure up a little bit.
Itty bitty teeny weeny. No, this is a good conversation. I'm just listening to you guys kind of banter back and forth because there's a lot of good minds on this show right now, and it's way above my pay grade. So, if someone's going to be interested in kind of getting started, because we're going to wind the show down here in about 3 to 5 minutes, if they need to do something to make this start, Gene, what are you pointing at?
I want to go first. I want to lead.
I thought you were just pointing at me above you. You're like,
oh yeah, no, that's
here.
it. No,
up here. Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, you're up first. What do they need to do?
I'm going to tell you. I've been thinking about this the whole time Brad was talking. Sometimes
I'm glad you're listening.
I was, but here's but honest to God, Brad, I always listen to you. We go back a while now, right? I enjoy conversations all day. But I do think that what you had talked about and what Jake had talked about is extremely overwhelming for most of the agents out there. So where I would start, I'm just telling you right now, if you haven't watched the social dilemma, go watch the social dilemma, because what Jake and Brad are doing are combining all of those worlds to get your attention. So if you go watch the social dilemma from the aspect of a consumer or somebody who's purchasing, and you take into account what's actually able to be done at a level that you probably never thought of before, that's the stepping stone here. When you go like this, oh my God, I didn't realize that's how it worked. Okay, now put another level on that, and that's what Brad and Jake do. And so I think that's such a good entry level, just 101 college course on here's what the internet is capable of, and here's how people are taking advantage of you and force feeding you what they want you to think and buy off the top. And now when you can sit back and go, holy shit, that actually does happen to me all the time. Now you go to the next level, and this is how you get to the part where Brad's giving the data to Jake, and Jake's doing all this wizardry behind the scenes to get your attention and to get you to click, right?
Damn.
So what I'm doing and what we're talking about right here is the proper way to do online marketing, ultimately, to expose your brand better than your competitors, and to go ahead and make sure that we're utilizing every single touch point we possibly can in a process that works well. We always talk about air, land, and sea. In simple terms, there is a customer journey that happens online, and you have to go ahead and be very specific in understanding so that you don't lose time, so you don't lose money, so that you're able to positively impact your business's bottom line. Truly. So I absolutely love Likely Artificial Intelligence. Brad's done some brilliant things over there. for me as a marketer and a platform to go ahead and help assist in the real estate industry. There's nothing better than good quality, clean data for me to go ahead and get my hands on, to go ahead and actually deploy into my process of communication, marketing, and just being omnipresent. So bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, ye who uses Likely artificial intelligence and clever leads over here has been winning, period. So if you guys need to go ahead and learn more about how to go ahead and dress your business for the party, we can go ahead and help you out, and I'd be glad to do it. But I'm a huge advocate of Mr. Brad McDaniel and all things that he's doing over there, and we will be working alongside of his business for many years to come. So,
all right, there it is, guys. We got a lot of stuff that we covered here. Brad used a lot of big words, and hopefully we can follow him. But it is incredible data. I've had incredible success. You guys know me; I don't bullshit around. When I talk about a product or a service, it's because I'm actually using them. So get a hold of Brad. So Brad, I want everybody to reach out to you. How can they reach out to you? How can they get a free proposal on their database? It is scrolling at the bottom if you guys are watching. But Brad, for all the people that are listening, please tell them where they can go to analyze their CRM.
Can I show you at the same time? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. As long as you're audio friendly for all of our visually impaired people who only listen to us on podcasts.
I will do the voiceover just for you, my friend.
Okay.
So guys, to get this started, if you need more information, you can go to Likely.AI/audits, because we just rebranded it to Refresh. Audit was I don't know. There's some negative connotation with that, the IRS or something. I don't know, right?
So
we rebranded to Refresh, but that's where you get more information. If you're ready to start, all you have to do is, from whatever platform you use for marketing or CRM, hit export my mailing list and take it over to app.likely.ai/refresh. And for you that are watching, that's the screen that I have up on the I'm sharing right now for everybody. And this is what you have to do. So here's an example. You literally take a file, drag and drop it. We dedupe it. So this is a test file with 10 dupes to make sure we got them.
Brad, what is a dupe?
Duplicate record, meaning that if 101 Main Street is in there twice, we only count it once.
Rock and roll. Appreciate that.
Yep, definitely. And we have a nice little how you do this. But you click next. If you don't have an account, you create a free account, just so that way we have a place to store the information. And if you're ready to buy, you can just add your information and check out. Greg's got a coupon code. You can type in here McDaniel, and you'll get the first 100 of these back for free. So a great way to kind of actually get the real data back. But if you just want to kind of kick the tires, then come to the bottom, and there's a link that says get a free database. Oh, I missed a place. Audit report. This should be refresh report, and hit go. And so what it looks like when you get it back, here's a good example of another one of our clients. So we matched 1,800 contacts out of the file they dropped, so 88.1%. And of that, if they make 3% commission on the deals, we found 13 had sold in the last 9 months. So that's $228,000 in gross commission that has been in this data set in the last 9 months. And then our likely sellers predicts that there's 558 within the next 6 months, which is worth $1.4 million in change in gross commission income potential. Excuse me. You can customize this, and that way maybe you're a flat fee brokerage, maybe you like to double end everything, but we will do the math for you. So you customizes the report and tells you basically what is your ROI. If at 1%, this is a 441% ROI if you decided to buy that report. So there you go. That's how easy it is to leverage artificial intelligence within your database.
Damn. All right. And they can get a hold of you at likely.ai, I'm assuming.
Yep. Likely.ai/contact. You can, just submit the form there. Our team will follow up with you right away and get you answer any information. We'll get it following up with you and get in touch with you if you're interested in working with us.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, you got to do this. Mr. Volpe, how do they get a hold of you and hang out with you and we can wax your head?
I don't allow other people to touch my head, so that's a non-starter for me, brother. You know how you can touch me. Just get with your boy on Facebook at Gene Volpe or the Gene Volpe on the gram. Hit me up in a DM.
Oh.
Yo, I also forgot. We're going to be on the southeast coast of Florida next week. Come holla at your boy between Tuesday and Saturday.
Gene, we are recording this on 4/14. So what will be the dates that you'll be down there in case people are behind schedule?
Tuesday the 20th to Saturday the 24th.
Guys, he loves to have his back scratched and his feet tickled. So make sure you go down there and hang out with him.
And Gregors, just so everybody knows, and I think this is probably clear, I'm going down with one of my sidekicks. We're going to be doing a bunch of lunch and learns. I'm the lunch portion of that. So if you got some extra cash in your back pocket, come feed your boy.
I have so many jokes for that.
Listen, I let one go earlier. I'm just going to let it slide. So be careful.
Shut up. Jake, how can everybody get hold of you over at Clever Leads and start experiencing the level of success that I'm seeing with you and your team, you leveraging Brad's data over at Likely.AI? Excuse me.
Yeah, it's Clever Leads with a K. Thank you, Greg, very much. KLETR.com. Come on over, enter your information on our website. One of my beautiful 50 employees will go ahead and reach out to you, and we'll get you guys dressed for the party. But I am doing something pretty unique here, ladies and gentlemen, that's watching. Mr. Greg McDaniel is getting ready to build a huge success team in various different marketplaces all across the United States for EXP. It's going to be powered by Clever Leads, powered by Greg McDaniel's years of experience, and a lot of our transportation opportunities to go ahead and dominate. So if you're looking to go ahead and join Greg's EXP team and build out a mega business model inside your metropolitan area, please get in touch with Mr. Greg McDaniel.
Dang, I was dancing. I thought I was behind the screens again. No, all jokes aside, yeah, 100%. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to leverage Likely, Clever, and the Volpinator to do this so around the nation. Guys, if you guys want to get a hold of me, please reach out to me. You guys want to get a hold of me, 925-915-1978. It's my cell phone. It does ring. I do pay the bill. I just paid it yesterday. Damn, that thing's expensive. But I do want you guys to reach out and have a conversation. If you're going to hear the jackhammering outside, it is quite annoying. But we do love you to pieces. But Gene and Jake, I need you guys as my co-host to do your duties. Gene, then Jake, give me the colors for the bow.
Looking around me here. Let's go with black. I don't ever do black.
Jake, all you wear is black. What are you talking about?
Yes. And when I renewed my vows, I did have a Johnny Cash wedding as well.
I was about to go. You have to have that Johnny Cash double black look going on for sure.
I know. So we're going to go with sun-kissed orange today.
That's a nice match.
Orange. I like that. Sounds very appropriate. All right, guys, that is our show. Appreciate you guys more than you possibly know. I love you to pieces. We cannot do this show without you. Please go to anywhere you guys watch and listen to our podcast. Give us not a 2-star, but a 5-star review so it helps the algorithm get back up there and help people see what we're putting out there. Please also tag Brad McDaniel, Gene Volpe, or Jake Wolf. And if you like me a little bit, kind of, sort of, itsy bitsy teensy weensy, or tag me in that a little bit as well, so that we can get a little bit of visibility. If I can speak, my bubbles are not working apparently, but we just appreciate you more than you can possibly know. So we have an orange, we have a black bow on this show. Brad, you're a fucking G amongst G's. I appreciate you. You are literally, and this is not a joke, you are literally going to change this industry one person at a time when they understand the power of what's in their database. Jake, you're right along with them, and so are you, Gene. I'm just the lucky guy to hang out with you amazing human beings. So until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.